What's up, everybody? Trying out some new stuff today. So, just here in the shop. It's a rainy day on a Sunday, of course, and dropping stuff. It's here on a Sunday, rainy day. That won't work. All right, we're going to turn that off. Hopefully, you guys can hear me and everything is good. Playing around with some things, like I said, trying to figure out more on this on the audio setup and things like that. Let's see what we can do. All right, I think we're good. You guys tell me if there's anybody on. I'm not sure if there's anybody on, but rainy day today. Was going through some things, talking to people about what we have going on here in the shop, and it was funny because I really wanted to talk about like the state of the bicycling industry right now and what I think is going on with it. People are in panic as far as like bicycle shop owners and stuff like that. A lot of people are panicking, saying, "Oh, no one's buying anything." I think that people are buying that, but the problem is, let me see something real quick. Sorry about that. I apologize to everybody. Still, like I said, still trying to work on some things. But let me see if I'm getting some. Cool, we're good there. We are good. We are good. All right. So a lot of people are talking about like the bicycling industry and how bike shops are panicking, how they think that uh, prices were so high and no one's buying or anything like that. I think a lot of times what you end up getting is that it's not that prices are too high. They really were. They were inflated obviously because of COVID. Whenever you have whenever you have high demand on something, the prices are always going to go up on high demand. There's actually laws against that during certain times where you can't inflate prices when it's in high demand. But the cycling industry doesn't have those type of laws in place because it's mostly like this is a recreational sport, a sport of leisure. So you're not going to have those laws put against it. They can make the prices whatever they want. But what happens is the prices go up, demand comes down, and inventory goes up to go along with that high demand. And these things go back and forth like this, and they rarely meet perfect in the middle. So you're going to have high prices, the demand will come up, or actually the demand goes up, the high prices go up, then the manufacturing comes up over the demand, and now the prices, we have all this stock with high prices, and people aren't buying anymore. So this stock has to come down somehow, and the way that they make the stock come down is they lower prices. And once you start getting into that back and forth rhythm, what's going to happen is people aren't going to buy bikes because they want to see how low these prices are going to go before they buy it. So you'll have a guy that sees a price drop and he's thinking about buying that bike and he sees another price drop and he's like, "Oh man, maybe I should buy it right now, but do I hold off and see if it drops again?" And that's what you're going to start seeing. You're going to see these people that are smart buyers wait until that price drops down low enough and stabilizes, and then they're going to buy. So I think that's where we are right now in the industry. I think we have a lot of price conscious people in the holiday seasons and things like that are just waiting for that rock bottom price. So they're either going to wait for the prices from the manufacturers to drop by going on sale, on sale, on sale. If you look at a company like Specialized, they've been dropping consistently for the last like 3 to 4 months. They've been dropping. They put a sale on a bike. That sale goes even deeper. That sale goes even deeper. They have so much inventory that they have to get rid of that inventory. It's just like any other business. You got to look at these bicycle manufacturers as just like any other business. They have inventory. They have to get rid of that inventory. And how do they get rid of that inventory? They give sales. They start to blow it out at the end of the year. And as consumers, you're seeing it a lot more than you used to see it because now these bicycle manufacturers aren't selling just to bicycle shops; they're selling to the public. They're direct to consumer. So now the consumer, the public people are starting to see what we would see throughout the years. They're starting to see Specialized drop the prices on all these bikes. Cannondale drop the prices on all these bikes. Kona just did a buy one, get one free deal on bikes. I've never seen that ever. It's 50% off on bikes. So, you look at these things and you look at the trends on how things are going. And you're starting to realize that it's just a big loop. It's going to happen again next year. So what's going to happen next year? Prices may drop, but next year the manufacturers aren't going to produce nearly as many bikes as they did this year. So the trend always follows what happened the year before. So what they got caught this year with too many bikes. Next year they're not going to make as many. So there's going to be a big demand on bikes. The price is going to go up high because there's high demand on bikes and not a lot of bikes being made. And then we're going to get back into that circle again of back and forth, up and down. That's just the way it works. You know what I mean? So, people are panicking. I don't think you need to panic. I think you need to, as a bike shop, I think you need to do exactly what the manufacturers are doing. You need to start making sure that you put bikes on sale, blow bikes out. I've said it before. That's what we're doing here, and we're going to continue to do it. But it's crazy the way the industry works and how everybody gets into a panic. I still see people buying expensive bikes. People are still buying bikes from us. But they're buying our sale bikes. They're being price conscious on it. So I think that's the big thing. So anybody want to talk about anything going on right now? Like I said, testing the water, seeing if there's anything going on out there. So looking at some had a great question. So I want to know, are you a SRAM or are you a Shimano person? Because that's like a debate that goes on inside the shop all the time. I'm a SRAM person. I think SRAM is probably the easiest thing to install on a bike. I mean, not even probably. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me on that. If you're installing your own parts or if you're working on bikes, I think SRAM is by far the easiest thing to install as far as the labor side of things. It's so easy to do that. Even on older bikes that used to traditionally have problems running like cables and things like that through it. SRAM is the way to go. It makes it so much easier. I call it true Bluetooth system. Yeah, Shimano has their Bluetooth stuff right now, but you still have at least two cables that you have to run to a battery. Where SRAM, it's just so simple. All right. Reading some questions. All right. So, by the way, rocking our new Patapsco, some of our new Patapsco gear. If anybody wants to check that out. Mr. Bill Wheeler gave me a heart. Thank you, Bill. That's like you're making me feel like the parent in the audience while I'm up on stage at my school play. Like the only clap I hear is from my mom in the audience. Bill's actually sitting on the other side of the counter here, and he just gave me a heart on here. So I mean it's crazy, but it's funny. All right, so SRAM and Shimano. Shimano's really good once it's installed and you've gone through all the stuff and you made sure. I think Shimano's actually better. I've said this before. I think Shimano's actually better on the bike. I think SRAM is better, easier to maintenance, easier to install, and that goes a long way, especially if you're constantly messing with your bikes and stuff like that. And the amount that Shimano is different, or better is not enough, not significant enough for me to choose Shimano over SRAM. So we have that. Oh, so now we go to another good question about whether you choose this or that. The next thing that people always ask me is like, what do I choose over Garmin or Wahoo? I'm a Wahoo guy. I've had Garmin for a really long time, and Garmin works really good. But I think Wahoo for me, Garmin's good for the person that's really into like computers and stuff like that, right? If you're really into computers and you're really technical, I think Garmin is like the one that you would want to go with. Where if you're a simple person like me, I think Wahoo makes it easier to use than Garmin, easier to program, easier to get things um, out of whenever I used my Garmin computer, I always felt like, man, I need help downloading maps. I need help doing this. I need help doing that. I can't do this. I can't do that. But when I got my Wahoo set up, it was a lot easier. So I'm a Wahoo person. I choose the Wahoo computers. Now that my eyes aren't getting a little older, now that my eyes aren't as sharp as they used to be, I might even go with a bigger screen with the Wahoo now than I did with the Garmin's. I'm gonna go grab two computers and show you the differences. All right. So do we go with? So now I need a little bigger screen. So I was like in the 5 series with Garmin. Like I think like the 540 is the new one. Now this is an 840. So the 840 is going to have a bigger screen. It has a lot more functionality than the 540. The 840. The thing about the 840 though, and I think I say this about most computers right now. Most computers will give you so much stuff, right? They give you the capability of. I laugh and say it's like we can launch a satellite with all these computers that we have. You have, I mean, what is it like 20 different functions on this thing? And out of 20 different functions, how many do you really use? I like to use maybe one or two. No, I'm lying. I use like three or four. So I use heart rate, I use power, and I use speed, like speed cadence, right? But that's like four things that I'm using where this thing does like 20. You know, I don't know anyone that's using all the functionality of any of these computers. It's just options that you can get. But my whole point is with the lower end ones, if you're only using four things that are almost available on any computer, why buy the higher end ones? I mean, I get it that you want a bigger screen. I get it that you want longer batteries. But other than those two things, I don't really see with a modern computer really reasons to buy too much higher than your basic entry level. So on the Wahoo side, it's the Roam, and this thing is sick. This has a lot of functionality, and things again that I'm not sure if you really need. So this is $450, and this one is $400. That's again, that's a big chunk of change for a computer. I mean, they're nice and everything, but I mean, even your basic computer is going to run you around 350, 300. So, I like them. I think they're really good, but I don't know if you need that much computer. But I mean, let me know if you guys think think of some other good reasons that you would want to have computers. I think a lot of times, again, computers are kind of like the iPhones that you end up getting things because it's new and you want to check that out, and you end up not even using it for that thing that you thought you needed because it was the newest thing out. I got an iPhone 15 mostly because of something new I saw. The biggest thing that I saw was trying to decide between a new action camera or something like that. And I found out that the new iPhone 15s and 14s had this really good image stabilization that you can almost use that phone like your action camera. So I needed a new phone and I needed a new action camera. I found out that feature was something that was there, so I decided to get the new phone. Um, Hopefully I'll use it. I'll use that phone and use that feature a lot. If not, I just wasted a lot of money in that one feature that I thought I needed and I don't end up using. That's computers too. Computers will sell you on features that you may never use. Like one of the computers right now is out has a solar charging, charge the battery with solar power. I mean, that's great if you're out for a really long time and you're always consistently draining your battery while you're out on rides. But if you're not riding that long, you probably never use that. You'll never utilize that feature, and it's kind of a waste. All right. Anybody else have any questions on anything? Someone want to throw some questions my way? What's everybody doing as far as on days like this? Are you riding in this weather? It's Maryland weather is kind of crazy. So Maryland weather right now outside, it's about low 40s. And Bill, what would you call it? Misty weather outside right now? Like a heavy mist. Now we've had some people ride by, and we've had some people ride into the shop today and this stuff. So people will ride. They're going to ride regardless. But I'm just kind of curious on you know what would you ride in? Where's your limits? I mean, I think this is the kind of weather right now that if you're not properly dressed, you can get really sick riding in this kind of weather. Your body temperature will drop really fast, and exposes you to just like different kind of illnesses. You're when you get cold like that, your immune system drops a little bit, and you open up the colds and things like that. So wouldn't ride in this weather, but I will ride in colder weather as long as it's dry cold or like snowing or something like that. I'm good with that. We here in this area, we like to be the first to ride in fresh snow. So if we get snow, which is rare nowadays, if we get snow, it's probably only going to last for like a day or so. And the mountain bikers being this close to Patapsco, we all go out and ride in the snow. So riding indoor trainers, yeah, right. I like to I ride. I try to ride all year round, and I may miss a week or so. It's it's it, it's crazy, man. Because for me, my goal is to ride all year round. But when it starts, I mean, the motivation just isn't there a lot of times. Um, So to hop on a trainer, I have to be heavily motivated to hop on a trainer and try to ride. It's hard, man. Like you get bored. My ADD won't let me get on a trainer and just sit there and watch a movie or anything else. Like I get bored. I need to do something. So when I'm riding in the woods, obviously, when you're riding in the woods, there's so much stimulation as far as like just what's out there and avoiding this and doing that and everything else that you don't ever get bored riding a mountain bike. I've been bored riding a road bike, and the motivation um, to ride that bike indoors just isn't there. So yeah. So if you rode outside, what's the lowest temperature you would want to ride to? Like for me, I think I'd say, man, just 25. Bill, what's the lowest temperature you would ride in? It is boring on a trainer, but I'll try to stay focused. See, that's good. I can't. I don't have that focus in me, man. I just don't have that kind of focus in me. I try, but you know, maybe I'll look at maybe I'll watch a movie like Coming to America so I can check out Randy Watts. Check out my main man Randy Watson. But yeah, man, I can't ride below zero. Riding below zero is just too hot. It's too hard. Um, I mean, well, actually, I can ride. 25 is below zero. I can ride below zero. The coldest I've ever ridden, I think it was in the teens, and that was just that's. I mean, but it doesn't really get it too much colder than that in Maryland, does it? No, I mean we've chemical hand warmers. I don't know, Bill. You might want to come over here and hang out with me. Yeah, come hang out with me, Bill. Yeah, have a seat here. The mics are on. They can hear us fine. All right. This is Bill Wheeler.
Hey now.
Bill is working here at the shop and helping us out big time. He takes care of like our eBay store and stuff like that. And we're trying to figure that out together.
Right.
But Bill rides in much worse conditions than I ride in.
Right. And if you got, I ride into the teens. There's no doubt about it. If it gets that low. But if you use chemical hand warmers, put them in your gloves, put them in your shoes, you're going to be set. You know, you can do all kinds of stuff. I use, what were those things? What are those things they put on your bars? What are those elephant ears or whatever that you can stick your hands in? I can't.
Bar mitts.
Bar mitts, yeah. Bar mitts, along with chemical hand warmers, it could definitely be below zero and your hands are going to be toasty.
Yeah, see, it's crazy you brought up bar mitts because bar mitts completely changed my riding. Bar mitts, if you don't have bar mitts and you ride in the cold, do yourself a favor. Get you some bar mitts. They look goofy on road bikes. They even look goofy on mountain bikes. But I tell you what, it's a game changer.
Big time game changer.
It's a game changer.
I mean, it's amazing how warm they are.
You can literally ride in sub-freezing temperatures and not even wear gloves.
Pretty much.
So I have the specialized bar mitts for my mountain bike, and they actually zip close.
Okay.
So it feels really claustrophobic. It feels weird, like you can't get your hands out of it. Right. But if you fall over, your hands come right out. But they kind of have like this little zip thing that closes around your hands.
Yep.
So now you have this microclimate inside there. And what you'll end up feeling is your hands actually start to sweat inside there. And coming from someone that I have really poor circulation in my hands and feet. And those are going to be the first things to get cold on me. Right. My thumbs feel like they're ready to fall off after 20 minutes. And I literally fight through the pain until they just get numb. Right. And I just keep riding.
Right.
But with the bar mitts, my hands are toasty. I ride with summer gloves.
And you know how sometimes, just some tips, you know, your one finger braking, your fingers are always on your levers. Keep your fingers off your levers.
Off those metal levers.
Because it's a heat sink. It just takes the heat right out of your fingers.
No, that makes sense.
So, you know, you got to change up how you're going to ride. Sure, you know, you're always taught to keep your fingers on your levers. But when it's sub-zero and you got your bar mitts on and you want to go for a long time, keep your fingers just off your levers so it doesn't suck that heat out of them.
That makes sense. I mean, like, you know, you can Bill doesn't ride with his fingers on his brakes anyway. They slow Bill down.
Don't tell Nike that.
Personally, I like my fingers on my brakes, but you know that's the difference between me and a fast guy, right? The fast guys, they don't touch their brakes. You know, that's a little tip from Bill Wheeler, ladies and gentlemen. You owe him. So you know, I'm rocking. If you're not rocking like bar mitts, because I don't have them for my road bike yet, but it's rare that I ride my road bike in the wintertime. I try to go almost exclusively either gravel or mountain for the winter.
Right. Yeah, I had bar mitts for my road bike when I used to ride road bike in the wintertime and stuff. Now it's just on the trainer. But I took those bar mitts for my road bike. And I was like, man, I got to go out in the morning. I don't have bar mitts on my mountain bike. So I just modified them. And I made them fit my flat bars.
Okay.
And they look like the normal bar mitts. I mean, I put extra Velcro in them to close them up and everything. But yeah, I should get some flat bar bar mitts. But they still.
You know a good bike shop that you can probably order them from.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny. So we're dealing with a lot of new stuff in the wintertime. You'll see with bike shops, we'll go over to selling things in a different subject. We went from bar mitts. Now I'm going back to selling things. I jump all over the place. So now we're going back in the bike shops in the wintertime. We go into selling things like on eBay because it's cold here, but it's not cold everywhere in the United States. So we need to reach out to a bigger audience, right? More people, get more eyes on things. And, you know, it's so funny. Me and Bill are learning how to work on the eBay side of things together. And we're not pros at it just yet, but we're learning.
And if you see something in our shipping costs, don't troll us. Just you know.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning. We just had a guy troll the hell out of us because we only had one method of shipping for a handlebar that we're probably going to sell dirt cheap anyway, right? Like we're probably going to end up giving the handlebar away basically. And so the guy inboxed us and told us that since our shipping was so high that we were just trying to make extra money.
We don't make
and
money.
that we were scammers. He actually said scammers. So I had to tell him that, well, we don't make money on our shipping. That's what and to sell things on eBay right now as a bicycle shop, you're liquidating. You're probably not making any money on anything that you sell on eBay. You're selling it because you just want to get it out of your shop and you want to just increase some cash flow. So you're not making any money selling things as a bike shop on eBay. I can promise you that right now. In today's time, again, like I said earlier, people are looking for good deals, right? They're going to hold off until they see that good deal. And people have money to spend. I don't think it's as bad as everybody thinks. People have money to spend right now, but they're just smart about how they spend their money. They're going to wait until the prices drop to the absolute bottom before they buy whatever they're going to buy. And I don't blame people because I do the same thing. If I was buying a refrigerator and I saw it constantly going on sale, the price keep dropping, I'm going to wait until it drops to the very bottom before I buy it. Hopefully they still have it in stock.
Right.
You know, but those are the games that you play when you buy online and you're waiting for sales. But yeah, a guy called us scammers. I had to write him and tell him that, dude, we have 3 stores. We've never scammed anybody ever.
Yep.
And I apologize to him that we're just learning that you could add more shipping,
more
options and shipping on eBay.
And then once someone bids on something, all this weird stuff, certain options get locked and you can't go back and change them when someone bids on it.
Yeah, we're learning. We're learning a lot. We're learning a lot. But it is what it is. That's what this game is. It's a game of learning, right? We're old dogs trying to learn new tricks, right? We didn't have
perfect.
Yeah, we didn't have eBay back in the day. You know what I mean? I didn't have all these tools to sell. Like we have tons of tools that we can sell by. I mean, we can sell on all the social medias, I think. Right. I mean, Instagram, Facebook, all these social medias that we can sell on all these platforms, and we have to learn how to sell on all these platforms. Me being in the industry all my life, I can sell inside the shop. It's easy for me to sell inside the shop because I'm just passionate about what we sell. You know, I try not to stock things that we can't back and that we don't think is a good product. You know what I mean? I try not to stock the store full of things that I personally like.
Right.
Because I'm kind of quirky. I'm kind of quirky on what I like. Like the things, how I build bikes.
Like that pink
bike. But even outside the color of the bike, the bike itself is going to still be probably weird to some people, right? Like there's some functions on my bikes that people look at and they're like, "Why'd you do that?" You know, like I'm single speed front on my road bike.
Oh, that's right.
I'm one by. I've been one by, but I've been one by on road bikes for a long time.
you don't care about the watch you're wasting when you cross chain. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say. I mean, if there is, I'm more concerned. I'm more concerned about losing the 10 pounds on my body than the 3 watts that I lose because I cross train.
People get crazy on that stuff.
Oh, they 100% get crazy, and I get it. I get why people get that way, right? I mean, when you're spending X amount of money to get the most efficient bike, aerodynamic bike, and everything else, blah 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 blah, because it goes on and on and on. If you're spending that much money to try to get the most efficient aerodynamic bike, then I could see why you would be concerned about losing 3 watts in cross chaining.
Yeah, right.
You know, with me, I'm not worried about it nearly as much as losing, like I said, losing weight on my body. You know what I mean?
That's the key.
I can't. I may never get stronger than I am on this day, but I can always lose weight that will make me go faster, right? So it's a simple formula. The lighter you are, with the sustained power that you have, as you get lighter, you get faster.
And you know what? You also get faster if you got that right technique. You can get heavier, tweak your technique, and you're going.
No, that's true. That's true. You can get more aerodynamic, and you can get faster. I mean, the way that you're sitting on the bike, the way that you ride the bike is 100% a way to get faster. But it's even better when you have the right technique. You lose the weight,
yes,
and you're able to get a little stronger. Right? That's when that's that perfect season.
It's all like, well, what do you want to give up? What do you want to get? Are you going to give up those donuts?
No.
Right. Am I going to give up an IPA? No.
No.
So it's
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up my Pepsi.
Some give and take. What do you want to give up to lose that weight? So if you're not willing to give that up, maybe work on your technique.
Yeah, but it's funny you say that, because I mean, I don't know, man. I still ride. I'm in the industry, right? Like, obviously I'm in the industry but I still ride for the love of riding. I don't want to be the slow guy.
Right.
Nobody wants to be the slow guy.
Right.
I still want to go out. When we get back from a ride, say if we're doing a big group ride, we get back from the ride, I want to be in on the conversation of the guys that finish first, right? Because they always have cool stories and stuff. You know, the guy who came in, if I'm in the middle of the pack and I come in with everybody else, there's never any cool stories.
Right.
But when I ever hear the guys that came in first,
there's always a battle.
There's always a cool story that they have. I want to be a part of that cool story. So I train a little hard so I can be in the conversation with that. Being in the conversation is where it's at for me.
I hear you.
I've wasted a lot of money trying to be in the conversation. I have a dirt bike at my house. Well, I actually don't have it at my house. It's being fixed right now by Paul.
Paul Lavelle.
No, Paul Hines. Paul Hines is a local fast guy who rides dirt bikes also. And he's a
motocross.
Motocross. Okay. He's sick on a motocross bike. And in my opinion, he could possibly be one of the fastest guys on a road bike if he chose to be. Yeah, he's strong. So he's working on my dirt bike right now. I have this dirt bike just to be in the conversation. I have a lot of friends around me that ride dirt bikes. I haven't ridden that dirt bike in like 5 years. And my wife's like, why don't you get rid of the dirt bike? And I'm like, it's already paid for. It's not costing me anything. You know what I mean? It's not really worth that much money. And like I said, it's my way into conversation. So when my buddies start talking dirt bikes, I can say, oh, I have one. Oh, what kind do you have? I have this, blah, 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 right? It's a way into the conversation. And being in the conversation on that front group of road riders is having to be there, right? That's my way into the conversation, is actually being there. So I train so hopefully I can be on the front. I can see what's going on, all the cool stories. I can be part of the cool stories. So, that's my reasons for losing weight and getting a faster bike. And not to mention, being in the industry, it's kind of like, it's good and bad. So outside of the shop, if you want to develop business outside of your shop, you need to go on rides. You need to participate in events outside of your shop. You need to put on events that pull people in, but you also need to go to these events that are outside of the shop, like big group rides, things like that. And you need to promote your shop. If you're not the person that's going to do it, you need to have other people that are willing to do it for you, but do it at the same level that you would do.
Right.
And it's really rare, though. It's hard to find that person that's going to promote someone's business in the same manner that the owner is going to promote that business, right? So I leave myself open 24 hours pretty much for people to come and ask me questions, right? Call my phone. I'll be sitting in my basement. I'm not lying. I'll answer bike questions at 11 o'clock at night. Or that my questions may start at 7:30 in the morning, and that's not exaggerating. I'm talking bikes from about 7:30 to about 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And that's almost every night. Because what I do is I make relationships and I make friends with a lot of people. And once I make that relationship and you're my friend, then I'm open. Whatever you need, let me know. Especially if it's bike related. Let's talk about it. So I go out on these rides and I'm promoting the shop. And one thing that I've noticed that you can't do is you can't promote the shop from the back of a group ride. And what I mean by that is I can have a sick bike. I can have a S-Works, SL8, full Durace, custom this, custom that. But if I'm the guy that's close to the last person pulling into the ride, they may look at my bike and go, that's a nice bike, but they're not going to come over and ask me anything about it.
Right. You're in the back.
They're not going to they don't want to get advice from the guy that just finished in the back. That's not the way it works, right? So as a bike shop guy, you don't have to be the fastest, but if you're gonna sport a sweet bike, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. It makes sense to be in a position to where people want to talk to you about that bike that you have, because every conversation possibly leads someone back to your business, right? So being out on group rides, I think it's really important for you to not just be out on group rides, but to be performing well and be approachable on these group rides.
And our group ride we're starting. We're starting at that approved group ride Patapsco for mountain biking.
Yeah, so we got
working with more already to get the route settled.
Another good thing about bringing Bill in is Bill has connections, right? Bill has connections, and Bill is getting us set up with more so we can do legal group rides in Patapsco and not have to worry about kind of those gray areas, poaching trails and things, right? So
we're going to be on the up and up.
Yeah. So if we're going to do something right, let's do it right. And, we have Bill in charge of that and leading the way. So yeah, we're going to have some serious, some pretty nice group rides mountain bike group rides leading out of into Patapsco State Park. Road rides, we don't really need permission from the county or anything like that. We're not holding races. But we're also going to have some really good road rides leading from the shop as well. So let's read some of these. I'm not giving up no Taco Bell. What else? All right. Tells me he likes to be in the back. Yeah.
Catching that draft.
Yeah. No, but see again, Dave, there's a really cool guy that we've ridden with for years. I've ridden with from years. His name is Dave Bob. First of all, normally I don't trust anybody that has two first names, right?
Dave Bob.
You don't trust the guy with two first names. But Dave is an exception. Right. He's an exception. This guy's an exceptional person. He's actually a coach at UMBC. He's a track coach at UMBC. Super fit. He was I think he was an alternate on the Olympics. Like he was fast back in the day. He's a sprinter. Was super fast back in the day. And Dave's a great guy, man. Great guy. But see, the difference between Dave saying that he likes riding the back is Dave's not really in the industry, right? He's not out trying to promote this, that, or another. So he's okay with chilling and not being part of that group, right? So it's for me, it's like it's a completely different like motive for me to be in this ride than Dave or a lot of other people. Some people don't care about being in that conversation. Some people don't care about where they end up at the end of the ride. Some people don't care about what kind of bike they're riding. There's always, with me, there's the passion that's number one for me in riding. Like I'm super passionate about riding. I love riding my bikes. after the passion, there's another motive that comes along with it. The motive after passion is to bring people into the business and to get people here to Patapsco. So those are the two things that I think I focus on the most, is like making sure I have fun is number one, right?
Yeah.
I gotta love it. I gotta love it. Because honestly, if I didn't love cycling,
Why would you be doing?
I'd be working somewhere else. I'd probably be selling cars somewhere, right? So I mean that's honest. Like if I didn't like cycling, I wouldn't teeter on the things that. So cycling industry for me is it's still a huge passion of mine. I still see there's a lot of things that we can accomplish here in with Patapsco. I think we haven't even come close to hitting what we where our stride yet and where we could be. You know, I wouldn't put up with a lot of the things, because you always have in this industry, you always have things that are trying to take that passion away from you, right? Like just pulling that passion away from you. And, you know, not being able to ride on certain days because I have to work. Right? I mean, that's normal.
Right.
But that's life, right? You can't just, I mean, that's everywhere. But not being able to ride because I have to work. Having the business side of things trying to just drain you, you know, from loving. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It's weird because I have to deal with a lot of that stuff. I have a business partner named Rob. Rob is one of my business partner who handles the back office stuff. Rob handles all the headache stuff that I get here in the shop. Rob handles all that. Rob takes care of all that stuff for me. Rob takes care of the financial side of things. He takes care of everything. He leaves it to where I can kind of do the fun part.
Gotcha.
Right? But I still have to manage 3 shops, you know, and I have really good managers, but I still have some of the frustration that sometimes I have to babysit certain things. Right.
Gotcha.
And that's not fun, but it is what it is. Right. There's no perfect business.
Right.
I don't think. Right. And
always something.
It's always something. It's always something. But yeah. So, you know, like I said, I was testing out some things today that I'm not sure if they were working well or not. So I went on to 3 different platforms all at once today with this.
So what are you on? Facebook?
We're on Facebook right now,
Instagram,
and YouTube. Yep. So we're on all 3 all at once right now, and hoping that it went by pretty good.
Do all the messages get consolidated, or are you just
don't.
Getting them from Facebook?
I think I'm just getting them from. It looks like I'm just getting them from Facebook. I don't know if I'm getting them anywhere else. I think a like that was from you on Facebook. I can see that I'm on Facebook and YouTube right now.
Got it.
But I don't see any messages coming from Instagram. I don't know how that would work. Something that we have to play around with, right? Because I think we're missing out on some of the features that we can get. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this rainy Sunday.
Gonna get more rain.
Yeah, we're gonna get more rain. Hopefully it dries up and you guys get some good riding in next week.
Trail should be A condition tomorrow morning.
Yeah, there's going to be a condition.
They should be perfectly dry tomorrow morning. All that wind will just blow this rain right out.
So I got to put one message up on here. This guy right here always trolls us. This is VJ. He covers his hands in warm pudding. That takes care of everything.
That's VJ.
All right, so that is VJ.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, he does that. He does that kind of weird stuff. But you know, he gets away with it.
You can.
Some people can get away with just that person. All right, guys. You have a good one. Everybody stay warm, and I'll see you soon. Later.